Simon Porter Jacquemus is one of the most promising independent fashion brands of our time. But did you know that 12 years ago he was completely new to the whole system and had zero connection in the fashion space? Plus, he comes from the south of France to Paris to study fashion without any help. So today he is 33 years old and he has built his fashion empire thanks to his talent and hard work that's finally paid off. What can you learn as a fashion entrepreneur and fashion designer from him to make yourself a place under the sports of the fashion industry? Here are my 3 takeaways that you can apply to your business and make it work. Let's dive in. Who is Jacquemus? Simon Porter Jacquemus is 33 years old. He came to Paris at the age of 18 to study fashion. Complete stranger to the fashion system, he starts with a simple post on Facebook presenting his new collection. His inspiration for fashion comes from his childhood. He was already making clothes at the age of 8 with his mom and his grandma. But he wasn't in Paris, so he didn't have any contacts to enter the fashion world. He came to Paris as a simple student, like many others do in his age, who wants to become a fashion designer. Why he became one of the few who succeed in the field of fashion? His determination helped a lot. Without any context, he was contacting everyone he could, from the press to buyers. He was making savage fashion shows on the streets. Very early, he noticed the role of the internet and social media for his brand promotion. For me, he was one of the first fashion designers to position himself on the social media, and he used it to sell his collections. He says, "I like selling. I never do a new collection if I didn't sell the previous one. I need to sell the first one to make the next one." He's not new to selling. As a little boy, he was selling carrots on the local market. As a stranger to the fashion world, he is able to innovate on different aspects of the typical fashion business model. For instance, he is telling girls who participated in his catwalks to smile, because it's not common to smile when you catwalk on a fashion show. We're used to see angry, sad, aggressive faces on fashion shows. It reminds me of Sonia Rykiel's défilés, where girls were asked to have fun and dance because fashion should be part of joy and happiness, not sadness. He did use a traditional model suit. He went to the LVMH prize and he didn't win it, but he received a special prize that gave him $200,000 for his brand development and a year of mentorship. And this is something I want to highlight. If you don't have money to develop your brand, please make everything you can to find it. You can use scholarships, prizes, investors, friends, customers, government subsidies, incubators, or loans. You really need that money to kickstart your business and invest in your brand. You need to invest in your marketing, people, production, and the knowledge. You can bootstrap until that moment, but if you don't have resources or people around you who can help you, you just lose your time and energy until you let go of your dream to become a famous fashion brand. So let's take a closer look at what you can do to build your own fashion empire 10 years from now, if you have to do it today and if you were in Jacquemus' shoes. First, become digital very quickly. Jacquemus was an outsider to fashion, and maybe you feel so too. Because you are not a part of the system, but you have this creative age and you want to create and you have talent, you want to become a fashion designer. Use social media to become close to your audience. Show them how you work, how you prepare for your fashion show, and what is your story. Jacquemus says in one of his interviews, fashion is not about making clothes at all. It is about a story that you tell with your collection. Your role as a fashion designer is to make this story simple and clear to your audience. It shouldn't be something complex or difficult to explain. He says your grandma should understand what your collection is about. Your collection should have a name, firstly, and secondly, it should tell a story. Look at his collections. They all have simple names such as the paper, water, the splash, mountains, or love. In 2020, he made a buzz with an online-only fashion show featuring from French lavender fields, and it added 1 million subscribers to his Instagram account and made him famous all over the world. So yes, You can create a digital and fashion brand by being original and authentic, showing your idea of fashion and choosing unusual places that are not that expensive to broadcast your fashion shows. You don't even need guests. You just can invite your digital followers to watch your new collection. I would like to give you this example of a young designer. My take that Andrea Albrizzo, a new designer from Institut Français de la Mode, is taking the path of Jacquemus. Just study his Instagram account and do the same. Second, work on your prices. Even if Jacquemus is a luxury brand, and I'm sure will become one of those famous luxury brands such as Louis Vuitton, his prices are quite accessible. It is yet not for everyone, but when you compare his prices to any other luxury brands such as Stella McCartney or The Row, you will see that the prices are much more affordable. This brings me to the idea that while you have this positioning as a challenger brand, don't price your products as everyone does. Make your prices slightly different and more accessible because you want to capture the attention of people who are already buying from luxury brands, but your name is not that powerful yet. Also, it puts you aside from others because you show that creative fashion can be accessible while the quality is not compromised. It doesn't mean that you need to reduce your margins. For instance, if you want to become a luxury direct-to-consumer brand, you can have super margins by selling online without a middleman. And my third takeaway, collaborations. Become a creative label. Jacquemus doesn't limit himself to a fashion or only his own brand. He collaborates and creates other products to sell more than clothes. He positions himself as a creative label that has a point of view on fashion, but also a way of living. His last collaboration with Nike was a huge success. By putting your name next to a famous brand, you address directly to the audience of this brand and use their reselling network. This is the most powerful marketing tactic where you don't lose money on production. You actually make them. You sell your creative ideas to a famous brand at a wholesale price and you get your name visible next to their brand. Here again, Jacquemus used social media to pre-test the idea. He posted first on his Instagram account the idea of sneakers and asked people about the color. So again, he shows how close he is to his audience and how easily he promotes new ideas and collections. It is also the opportunity to test new products without spending money on production and samples. Your bigger name partner will take care of everything. My takeaway, and this is what we teach our clients in our Brand Boost program, it's most important to tease about your next collection before it is even out. Your teasing stage starts with a prototype. Just take a picture of your next product and show to the world what you are up to. And secondly, by doing collaborations with famous brands, you can easily create a brand name. One of our smartest brands in Brand Boost, Sakina Msa, has already built your audience thanks to the major collaborations with La Redoute, a French marketplace, Maison du Monde, a famous decoration shop, and Monoprix, a famous grocery and local store in France. Like Jacquemus, she is an outsider to the fashion world and she has had her brand for 15 years or more. She was always knocking on the door of the famous brands to offer them collaboration opportunities. Why would they accept, you will ask me? Because they need new, fresh ideas. There is nothing worse in fashion as a dying old fashion brand that repeats itself year after year. So if you have a particular universe and a specific style in your products, other brands would love to collaborate with you to offer to their clients more unique, original products and make a marketing event from your collaboration. You can capture those major collaborations if you ask. Just ask people who work for those brands, the brands that you want to target. If they're looking for a new fresh ideas that you can help them to collaborate on, you make money and a name for yourself. They attract back their clients to them. It's a win-win situation. So if you enjoyed this video, I totally invite you to watch my next video, which is about my reaction on how I started my fashion clothing brand. Just click here and watch my next video. And please give some love to this video and I will see you in my next one.